Yeah, for anyone who's prepared caster, I already automatically prepared some spells for you. You can change them, but I already prepared some because at least you'd have a choice or already have some set then.
Wow.
Spontaneous
As
casters just have fun with spontaneity.
A fucking genius. 20 int.
But let us go ahead, shall we? Also, please note, Nathan has a bag of holding. No, sorry, Hannah have a sec. Good enough.
yes, he does.
Yay.
Which is also carrying like the camp equipment that you see down here. Like all the tents are normally in his bag. Because tents are
Yeah.
heavy.
They really are.
Yeah, no, tents and camping gear is even listed in my equipment section.
I like how Nathan, the smallest character, has the biggest backpack.
No, remember the handy haversack's only £5, which is not that heavy. It's only £1 heavier than the normal backpack.
It's still the biggest backpack.
Yeah, the point is that inside the backpack is a TARDIS. The thing he's also the person who collects all the random knickknacks all the time, so he kind of needed it. Actually,
Speaking of which,
that's an item
he
though.
is going to have so many souvenirs when Amaya gets back.
Okay. Ice creams eaten. Let us move ahead, shall we? It has been a long couple of weeks for your group, traveling up and down the length of the Empire. Job after job. You guys have been doing well for yourselves. You've been pulling in some money, pulling in some favors, getting into several bar fights. It's been great. Your group's, of course, had its squabbles, you always do. But as it stands, you've worked together remarkably well as a team. And it's shown itself quite well. Most recently, you helped clear out a large crypt that was full of skeletons. And one particularly angry ghoul. They were dealt with in swift action, thankfully. With only one of you getting ghoul fever, who then needed healing. But with that said and done, you had one more contract you had accepted from the Mercenary Guild to do. One more to do, which took you far out to the western side of the Empire, across the southern coast, getting close to the wall of Blackwatch, the wall to the nation that has always been reviled for its undead affinity. The reason you've been sent in this direction, at least what you've been told so far, is a strange amount of disappearances from a small local village, and bandits apparently on the outskirts. Nothing you can't handle, of course. Though, as it stands, you've learned that not all the jobs necessarily end up as simple as they seem. But at the moment, you simply have taken a chance to set up camp in the woods and relax for a bit after a long day of travel. Your character's probably pretty exhausted at this point. And honestly, after marching for about 8 hours, what makes you stop is not only just exhaustion, but also the fact your bickering gets worse.
Did you guys know that this place has half the GDP of the island that the main party is on, despite being twice the size?
What do you mean main party?
You know, the people who get all the money, and we kept getting thrown out into these far off flung places.
And so do they.
Yes, but at least they get to have like martinis and other types of fancy drinks while they get to rest on a beach.
Don't they like
Well, that's because they're on a
almost
vacation.
die? Don't they like almost die every single time they go anywhere?
That too.
Hey, I'll accept that part, but what I'm saying is if we went along, we could have avoided whatever death-defying thing they were doing and went to go get drinks and while making a very easy contract for twice the money. And now I have to sit out here in the woods with my boots covered in mud and unknown filth from years of war.
Is that better than sitting out in the jungles, though?
I
But
wouldn't
don't you
go
know
into that
prestidigitation?
do, but I don't like casting it all the time.
Well, then just cast it like every half hour or so.
But then my boots are wet and halfway through that half hour.
Then do it every 15 minutes.
Look, just because I can throw out spells willy-nilly doesn't mean I enjoy doing it all the time. It gets repetitive and boring, especially when my toes are wet all the time.
Then maybe you should get some better
That
boots.
hmm,
I
I'll have
thought I
to
was doing
make
the thing with
I'll
this
have to
cloak.
make you some better boots.
It would actually be fantastic, I'll say. This cloak really helps, at least my hair's not always wet. still, nevertheless, yeah, I haven't been paying attention. Are we close to the town where we're supposed to be going?
Michaela nods. We are about another 6 hours. We'll be there. So latest sundown tomorrow, even if it's bad weather.
Well, knowing Leo's luck, it'll be probably bad weather.
Hey, if there's bad weather, it's nothing to do with my luck, it's the rest of you bringing it down.
Sure, says the person wearing cursed gloves.
They're only slightly cursed, it's fine.
Right.
We
All right,
All of
think
your-
you're worse than bad weather.
who's taking first watch? Guess that's me then. All right.
I mean,
No,
Thank you
I'll
for
take it if
volunteering.
it beats listening to your bitching and moaning.
Good, thank you.
I, as usual, will take the last watch.
I'll take the midnight watch then.
Good, it's decided. Good night.
All of your characters, of course, have gained quite the mass of magic items since you've been out adventuring. The one perk of the job. Cave, of course, that's highlighted, has a beautiful cloak, all enchanted now. Always clean, always pristine, never staining, even underwater. Nathan, meanwhile, has enchanted this beautiful pair of boots he bought off a market. Bright red leather, comfortable and soft. Kind of feeling they'd be suitable even for marching in the snow of the north. Now with small decorative wings kind of sticking off the back of them.
I believe I can fly.
Leo, of course, has the gauntlets of High Jewel. The signature has been for him for a while. Though his skill with them has been improving, especially when it comes to aiming the coins. And their golden glisten, the shimmering emeralds. Well, if nothing else, it makes you guys stand out. Ryder has the great falchion, which he recovered from the local tomb you just finished raiding. A glorious weapon it might be. A large blade, wreathed in flame. A weapon of true glory. And Rain, his braces, carefully put together and crafted for him to help focus his mental powers and focus his spells, even during the most death-defying situations. You guys have done well with adventurers up to this point, and whatever adventures are ahead, I'm sure you'll do well. But now it's time to rest, and we'll see how rest goes. Ryder, you're on first watch.
Probably practicing a bit of his newfound magic flame sword falchion.
So, but sure, can you give me a perception check?
Oh lord, here we go. I don't know your perception check is, so I'm hoping it's good. It's okay.
+1.
Could be worse.
I mean,
It could be worse.
We're all gonna die.
It's not terrible. It beats a 10.
Thanks for voting confidence, Bigby.
Hey, 10's the average. Like,
It's not the average for someone sneaking up on you.
not technically true.
And not everyone who sneaks up on you is good at sneaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thankfully, that is enough. After all, you're not playing high-level adventurers at the moment. You are more modest-level adventurers. As Ryder is kind of slashing out with his sword, possibly attacking one of the local pieces of shrubbery,
Robbery.
he hears a familiar creaking noise. Stiff, ancient bones.
Of course.
How does he react? They don't sound very far away.
I mean, I've got this giant flaming thing. I can probably handle a few skeletons. Off we go.
Okay.
I love it.
With that, Ryder charges out then of the camp.
You know, he'll courtesy like knock over a pot or something, just as he leaves. But he's not gonna stay and wake anyone up.
Wow. Good job. Best watch.
question: does the party coward wake up?
Yes.
Part of the reason why we don't argue that he gets first watch.
Yeah, some of the party does not have great perception.
Oh my god!
Ah,
Apparently,
Like a lot of the party
It's-
doesn't have great perception, to be honest. However, no one has a negative. I think everyone does have a positive perception.
Also, this is why we give Ryder the first watch. So if something does pop up in this, he'll wake everyone up because they were barely asleep in the first place.
Apparently we know
So-
better, because this happens consistently, so none of us were actually asleep. We're just going, when is it going to go bad?
All of you see Ryder
So,
charging
we-
off out of camp.
So we got a 9, a 10, a 10, and a 6.
We all expected this, apparently. It's just a consistent thing. It's like he takes first watch, none of us fall asleep, he charges off, we all just get up and grumble to ourselves.
What's the fool up to now?
You see the courtesy of knocking over a pan this time?
You suddenly end up hearing this kind of massive kind of swing and suddenly just a burst of flame up into the air in the forest.
That way.
Yep.
It's also noticeable.
Yep.
Flame swords are not known for being
Yeah, just for the record, I randomly rolled which bloodline Leo was before going to bed, and turns out he's arcane bloodline. So yeah.
Your ginger cat, however, is still asleep.
Yes. Because the cat rolled the worst perception of all of us.
On my way out, I cast alarm on my tent.
And I cast shield.
I will make an umbrella.
Fire's going off, mage armor.
I'm so glad my party has so much faith in me that we stay around to everyone's to prepare.
I mean, it's a standard action. We can walk and cast.
Yeah, Keith is not hurrying, I'll say.
She doesn't feel this is that important. Which, to be honest, might be fair.
She still has the ability to make random semi-corporeal illusions, right?
Yes, it's very bottom ability on her list. Yeah, she can create mostly corporeal illusionary objects. Just if they're used as a weapon, they break after the first hit.
Right. Okay. Cool. I didn't read that far. Cool. Umbrella.
I mean, that's one of Kate's signature abilities. I'd never get rid of it. That's like half of what Kate does with her day-to-day life. She spends a lot of time just creating random objects. And occasionally flowers. Look, they're real as long as you believe they're real.
It's like a reverse hoarder.
She's not carrying much, I'll tell you.
No, she does not. She's probably got one of the emptiest inventories. But what does she need? I mean, everyone has a general goods section, which is talking about the stuff they live with day to day. But other than that, okay. Well, we're going to start off with just you, JMac.
Try.
Because the others are going to basically be a little bit behind you because they're one casting and walking, and two, of course, you charged off first. By the way, is Leo casting and walking as well, or is he just walking?
No, he did a mage armor.
Okay. That's fine. I didn't remember if he did anything or not. Michaela takes a while to get up, however, because she is quite sleepy.
He's also carrying the cat on his shoulder because it's
That is
too
fa-
lazy
that
to
is fairly-
wake up.
That's pretty standard procedure. If you're familiar. At least you're familiar for today.
Yes. Clearly, this has shown he's too lazy to be my familiar full time, so I'll just replace him in the morning.
You need him whenever you change bloodline so you can regain his power.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's like whenever you change bloodline, he then disappears. When you come back to Arcane, it comes back again.
hmm
Which, unlike JMac, I'm not letting you abuse by changing the familiar every day.
Aww.
That said, however, you don't really need to change it because that cat's pretty good.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a cat, so it's clearly the better one anyway.
Yeah. Right, so you've charged Outrider. Let me
Combat
put it up in just a moment for you then. Why is there a gash in my map? I don't like gashes in my map. My maps are supposed to be corporeal.
Bodyguard.
It's a protective familiar, so its entire job is to protect you. It's basically a HP sponge.
Oh, it's an aid another.
Not bad, is it?
No, it's just feats that I haven't used before, so I need to work out values.
Why is the tokens not appearing for Skelly Bobs? There it is. Sorry, all my tokens which is for some reason not wanting to appear out of the ether.
Oh, good.
Because I've got, I tried wherever I can to make them into little archived things that I can just pull out where I want to. Roll20 is not agreeing with me today, however. It's thinking instead I want to go to some random link that doesn't exist. Instead of opening stuff. It's weird. However, let me move the map over for you. I have set up diagonals on this map, haven't I? Yes, I have. Good.
Wow.
Ryder,
Skelly Bobs.
Friends.
you can add yourself to initiative if you would like.
Fucking roll one. Hold on.
This is too big of a map for just 3 skeletons.
Unfortunately, I know skeletons are freaking fast little bastards.
However, in this case, they're distracted at the moment. You'll have the drop on them.
Is this a surprise round, Vin?
Yes, you have one action.
How many movements do you have,
Charge.
Ryder?
Oh, 30s of them.
Okay.
He has
Which is-
average movement, it turns out, which is not bad given he's in heavy armor.
This feels like a trap, but Ryder wouldn't know. Charge!
He's not the brightest at all in the shirt.
It's fair. Enable charge. Attacks. Big whammy. Are these skeletons wearing any armor?
They are wearing armor.
What?
They appear to be wearing what was leather armor.
Mm,
It's not the best condition anymore.
Ryder will spend 2 stamina points to bring that to an 18.
Also, Ryder sees what they were all standing over.
Is that a person?
Corpse.
Yep.
You kind of bring your falchion down then. And despite the fact, of course, it's a skeleton, it's made of bone. So usually slashing through it's not a good idea.
Who needs
Well,
Who needs weapon appropriate damage when you can just smash?
Yeah, pretty much. The skull goes flying.
As Ryder looks up to the other 2 skeletons, grins, and bangs his falchion against his shield.
They both creak a little bit.
It's like trying to intimidate us undead.
That's not intimidation, it's just, look at me.
Technically, because that was a surprise round, normal initiative starts. Ryder.
Shit.
You
Let's
should
charge again.
Charge again.
I might as well.
And then still
It's free real
flat-footed.
estate. Oh yeah, I forgot about flat-footed. Yeah,
Oh
critical
dear.
fails. As Ryder just rushes along, one swipe taking out the legs, another swipe knocking off its head.
Yeah, what are you, Doom guy?
Yes.
That pretty much. Ryder, you do realise through the trees there's actually a couple more than you knew about.
Oh shit.
A couple. Another 20.
Oh shit. We're a lot closer.
They're kind of hidden behind the trees and your terrible perception.
At least I did this while looking cool.
Oh, there's even more up there.
Add them all to initiative.
I told you the map was too small for just 3.
I mean, I know, but Ryder doesn't know there's a map.
It's fair. He doesn't.
You mean he doesn't see the inky darkness just to his left?
No, he hasn't got cataracts and he can only see the 30-foot circle.
Did Ryder not kill the one that is just charged?
I haven't checked yet. He probably has. It's
I
Ryder.
mean, he did more damage than the first attack, so probably.
Crit BB.
Oh yeah, that crit. No, he's dust. Go away, skeleton.
In fairness, Ryder's a pretty, I don't want to say easy target, but I want to say noticeable target because, flaming sword.
I mean, Kyoto's basically does up as a torch for you. So Ryder stands there in his shining full plate, shield and sword. He does well. He does well for himself.
As he does the 1-2 bop.
The skeleton, meanwhile, is going to
You gonna charge me?
creak. And the skeleton is going to go ahead and stab at you with a broken sword.
Enjoy. He's looking for a 22.
Crit.
I honestly don't give the skeleton much chances.
Crit.
No, we don't want him to die.
Ah.
We're good. Here comes the rest of the Skelly Bob crew. Do they all have broken swords?
They have a combination of broken weapons. Not necessarily swords, but they're broken weapons. One's got just got a stick.
Okay.
You think it might have been a spear at one point? One had like a rusted axe. They all appear to have been, I wouldn't say soldiers necessarily. That's not quite right. But they were all people who were ready to defend themselves. Pre-death.
They have armor and shit.
Kind of more like people going out into the woods for hunting purpose, maybe.
That'll hit.
I mean, I wouldn't be that impressed.
My hit points.
As it does,
And
as they seem to kind of pack all up on Ryder, it seems like, well, they're kind of between them shoving you with their shields, and otherwise kind of keeping you surrounded. It's becoming very hard to kind of hold them all off. They seem to work quite well as a team, weirdly. Slightly more tactics than the average skeletons.
And your shield's only so big.
That's a
It's
miss.
more because of the shield only can really defend from one direction. Yes, missed by 1. Oh boy,
Whirlwind attack.
I wish. Ooh, hello. Cha-cha, Will Smith. Let's see. Cleave was just a standard action.
It's a standard
yes?
action that if you hit with the first attack, you make a second attack immediately against a
I'm going
different
to
person.
make a cleave attack against the skeleton north of me. Which,
Okay. And that
you don't want to
is-
5-foot step into the center of that circle first?
I was in the center of the circle.
Oh, why not stay there?
In retrospect, that was probably the smarter move, but in also retrospect, that's probably not the move that Raider would make.
It's down. You can now make a cleaving finish attack if you want to as well.
I mean,
Yes.
he might have done if he had greater cleave. Just fucking spin
This
in
will
a
just be
circle.
the regular cleave, which unfortunately I'm not around anyone to cleaving finish.
Your cleaving finish attack is wasted and hits a tree.
Sure, I hit the tree out in rage. Rah! I let go.
We're not raging, are you?
No. Come on, this doesn't deserve raging. This is like baby encounter. That's a no. Fortunately, I don't think I'm gonna finish this up before everyone gets here.
I mean, you still killed 3 in 2 rounds, so you're not doing badly.
Yeah, but to be doing better would be to kill all of them. Miss. And miss.
Oh no, Aspen has competition for the strongest there is.
Miss.
Second, because actually initiative cycled, so I should have added everyone else for initiative because they do arrive.
Oh. Guys, go tie your shoes for a second or something.
For like 3 more rounds.
Sorry, I didn't have a token to select.
Feasibly, depending on how well I would roll, I could potentially finish this off with 2. I might still get my chance.
I'm not sure how you'll do 5 targets in 2 rounds.
Taps
can do
nose.
You do 3.
Yeah, you can do 3 in a round.
I can do 4.
Everyone kind of bursts into the clearing. It's hard to see much of anything, but what you can make out is illuminated by big fiery glow is Ryder surrounded by a pile of skeletons.
You
I
got
am
this.
not surprised.
Okay, everyone but Michaela's in initiative.
Excellent. Let me just quickly open Michaela's sheet.
If you truly believe I got this, delay your turn.
That's why I asked if you got this.
Hell yeah.
Then Kate is going to delay her turn. She might saunter forward a bit, but that's about it.
Right.
Because if she starts, fighting now, she'll have to restart all over on the resting period for repairing spells.
It's true.
Jeez. Wild cave.
We have to
Your
read
whole,
it.
like, 30 minutes of rest wasted.
Yep.
Can't possibly just lay in the morning.
Nope. He's got this, by the way. He just said. He's fine.
Yeah, but he always says he's got this right before he gets pummeled.
And he does, honestly.
But then we have
Aw,
to fix them
like-
up afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think Michaela has a problem with that.
Eh,
You're my brother, you don't get any input on this.
Skeleton kind of steps out of the bush, creaks, seeing more people.
You can have
Wait.
that one.
Pick that one. Over there. The one surrounded by your friends. Over there. That way. Stop it. No, god damn it.
Hey, Bob is going to just attack Ryder.
Hello. Nope.
So they can't get up to that +6 point because they're missing some slots now of people.
I imagine Raiders also like sort of backed against the tree.
Probably.
So they can't like circle around him.
He's a good fighter. He might not be smart, but he's good. He knows tactics decently enough.
Yeah. He's been a fighter like 50.
Okay, just relax for a while.
Rain, please.
Cracks knuckles, if I could crack knuckles. Okay. Let's see.
Well,
I don't
nothing.
I don't want to 5-foot step this time. This might also make me tired, but oh well. Let's start Skeleton 7.
Evan, you got the first target.
Yes. Wow. Damn it. I don't have enough stamina.
This
I
is
wouldn't have enough
Mercury.
stamina to be able to do it. And my I want to do it. No, I'll let it miss.
It is recommended to have your cat attack.
I'm tempted.
Your cat you cannot damage it through its DR.
I'm tempted anyway.
I let out a single tear.
You end up missing, and you end up missing, unfortunately. So cleave ends.
I was gonna look so cool. I had a plan. I was gonna kill the first one, cleave the second, cleaving finish on Skelebob 2, and spend 5 stamina to use cleaving finish's ability to hit Skelebob 6.
Ryder, hit the skeletons with the tree! As the tree that Ryder was fighting next to just comes down as he cleaves it in half.
And this is why he usually gets beat up, because if he misses that first swing,
You
he
shut
just
up!
spins in place.
Michaela, meanwhile, just
It's true.
Michaela just solemnly, meanwhile, just walk straight past the skeleton. I was not even noticing it's there. Just kind of walks over to
Done.
here, kind of clasps her hands together, and just begins to utter her prayers for Ryder. Ryder, you gain +2 AC.
Hey, thank you, Michaela. You're the only one on this team who I like.
Wow, that's
I believe in you.
charming.
I ship it.
Nathan, don't you start.
Hey,
I'd
but-
like to. I
Twelve-
can
twelve-
Nathan in the head with the umbrella.
I didn't say that in character. Come on.
No, totally, that's something I can imagine Nathan actually saying potentially. But
It fits in with the bickering.
look, he's getting to a point where it's a troublemaking preteen. He's what he's doing. Skelly Bob, you know how this goes.
Ooh,
So
close,
close.
but no cigar.
Nathan,
Oh right, I should probably turn off charge. Whoops.
I activate Flesh Rot from my Hand of the Mage. That skeleton in front of our group needs to make a Fortitude save. DC 15.
this is not a skeleton's good save typically.
Right, did you say you're activating Flesh Rot on a skeleton?
Yes.
It deals double damage against undead.
In this case, it's more like marrow rot.
I
guess.
know it works, but logically I see a flaw in this.
Take 15 damage.
Just kind of falls apart and turns to dust.
Okay, go get them, Rain.
Really?
Yeah, as Nathan invoked the mummified elf hand for the hand of the mage he's got. Twisting its magic as it always does.
Okay, then, no.
Go away. Where did that
As
one
it just
even
starts
come
walking
from?
again. And it needs to make a will save before it attacks her.
Oh,
And that's a no.
23.
As it kind of swings at Michaela, and you suddenly just see Michaela's sanctuary bubble just protect her from the blow. Because whenever Michaela is praying like that, she is effectively under effective sanctuary constantly. Makes her a pain to kind of makes her a pain to hit. A holy symbol glowing as the strike came in. Hey Leo.
Hey. Where did I need to get to, and can I get to it without being killed by Gilliball 15? Can. I should just spend a point of stamina, but I can.
Leo
Forgotten
certainly
where
has
it
that.
was. There? I think it was there.
Close range is actually 40 feet. It might be mistyped in your sheets.
Oh,
Remember that.
well, in that case I'll save my stamina. That was not...
It's 40 feet.
There we go.
I'm wrong.
No.
It's 20. No, it's 25. No, sorry, and I have to put it right on the sheet. It's 35. That's my
Right.
apologies.
I had to
Sorry.
go there anyway because of the way diagonals work. No, there. That's how much stamina I have. Okay, and targeting Skellybob 2, I am going to cast Thunderstomp on it. Means I need to make a triple attempt using Staff, Castle Level, and Charisma.
No, you should have.
Yeah, Alt CMB, yeah.
You got one in for Leo because I knew this would come up.
Ugh, that's terrible. What was that? That was a nat 3. Ugh, that was really terrible. I don't think I have anything to reroll. Sadly.
Technically, it's an attack roll, so it could be stamina, but
Technically,
I
how
wouldn't bother.
much CMD do we think skeletons have?
A lot more than that.
they're quite dangerous and they're strong. So
Yeah. That's annoying.
as Leo stomps the ground, shaking the skeleton, but he kind of wobbles.
Just rattles a bit.
It's always soft earth, just absorbs the force.
You know what I should have done, and what I'm going to do to prepare for next time. The cat sort of sits up on Leo's shoulder, baps him on the head, and aids him for like attack. I think.
Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do that because of his abilities.
It's like, you're doing it wrong, Bap.
Where are you? Where
Was-
he is.
I was trying to make it nice and easy for Ryder to hit one and cleave the next. Oh, go away. I knew I should have done AC.
35 feet, so he can't actually attack you.
Haha, you don't have stamina. Screw you, skeleton.
You can't have stamina.
Haha, suck.
You can't have stamina if you don't have a con score.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rain says he sort of crouches a little bit and starts casting a spell. Spell combating. Bladed dash. Yump. Also swift action. Enchant my sword. Which one do I want to do?
We hit 15
Yeah,
minutes.
I programmed him in by base just because he tends to primarily use frost, but if you don't want frost, you can, of course, use something else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's probably
you-
not
you-
going to use frost because undead.
Skeletons are immune to frost.
Well, it's the most
Other-
common element, though, so that's why that's programmed in by default.
Mhm.
But you can
I
just tell me it's a different.
blame Amaya for teaching him to do that.
You can tell me it's a different element, though.
Sure, he's going to go. Lightning. +1 keen lightning longsword. So, bladed dash attack on the top skeleton.
Strike into the skeleton. You
Still
cut
up,
into its marrow, but it's still up.
Oh, I forgot I would gain +2 on that attack. Oh well.
But hey,
And
so we know it's coming.
second attack.
First doesn't get through the marrow. Second swing, the skull comes flying off. That's good. Clearly, Bob. No,
Hello. No.
pretty much no chance because of the extra AC you were given as well.
Oh, sorry?
Even he was also given extra AC. Not much of a chance.
Yeah, no. I mean, if they all like scoosh around me, maybe.
No, what we're going to try to do.
Those Rangers just like, no. Bump, bump, bump with shield.
Pretty much.
Oh, here comes Mr. Big Man. Can you do it? Nope.
As Cave just watches the battle. Luckily, summoning her umbrella does not count against her spell re-preparing for the day. Technically, only casting spells technically interferes, so it's good for you. You can just say that Cave just kind of sits around and waits for the others to finish. Undead never were Cave special.
Kayla, and I don't like that. Does using my bonded object count as casting a spell, or is that like count as an item?
Count as a you casting a spell.
Okay.
The bond object just gives you a spell per day. So a wand wouldn't if you have any of those. No matter.
Don't.
Worst case, you have rock.
Eh.
It's okay, man. Look, it's okay, Kev. We don't expect anything from you.
Wow. Okay. All
We
right.
expected nothing and got even less.
Keith moves here, pulls out the scroll of lightning bolt and casts it.
What? Okay, hold on a second.
This isn't
Out of character.
this isn't worth a third level scroll.
I'm sure
Hey,
Keith might be
isn't
petty, but
isn't that petty.
is she 375 gold pieces petty?
No. Okay, fine. She'll just cast it.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, what was that?
Casting lightning bolt. I need
Casting
reflex.
lightning Did you have it prepared, or are you just pulling it out of her bonded object?
I think it's prepared right now. No, it is not prepared. I'll put it on it.
As Cave pulls upon her ancient amulet, the runes glow. You outstretch your hand.
Right,
these-
right.
You guys are gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, use the once per day ability to expound upon your pettiness.
Yeah.
Not the 300 gold piece scroll.
Joe, why don't you just roll damage? Because frankly, depending on what you roll, they may not survive anyway.
5 is D6 per.
Yeah, it's a D6 per level. Yeah.
5d6. Well, that's pretty good.
And given that each of them have about 10 hit points. One moment.
Like every other person. Case basically takes the lightning, which she draws from the amulet, and starts at the ground with 2 fingers and drags upward, carving a massive swath of flame across that beam, that row. Yeah, like that. Starting from the ground and working her way upward until a big lightning arc comes up kind of over the trees.
You Cave.
That's more like it, Cleve. versus Skeleton 7.
That is a successful hit. You can cleaving finish if you want to now.
I shall. Well, this would just be regular cleave. but
Okay,
yeah.
I don't. No, cleaving finish doesn't work even when you're not cleaving. Just nice. There's almost no reason why they wouldn't, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when you charge.
Yeah, I guess when you charge, that's why. Yep, that's fine.
Wow, cleaving finish is great. I didn't even
Change
realize.
from cleaving finish to cleaning finish. Wow.
Great. Whenever you successfully down a foe, get an extra attack.
I like that.
Tremendous one.
It is very nice.
As Ryder stands there in the ash and flame. Is that all of them? It's all of them.
Potentially.
We done here?
Well, that was.
Michaela. Michaela just nods as she walks over here. Create water.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm surprised it caught fire. It's so damp here.
You did fire a bolt of lightning at it.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of seemed excessive, Keith.
I was bored and wanted to go back to sleep.
Well, unfortunately, they appear to be attacking someone, so we should probably check.
Wait, there's
Oh,
body?
no, she's dead.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was just checking that.
What lies there,
Uh,
with doubt, is a very, very dead person. They have many kind of just gashes all throughout their abdomen, where the skeletons basically just stood over them and just started hammering down.
That's
did she
a kill.
die before we got here, Ryder, or after?
Probably right before, honestly.
Yeah.
Looking over her, she appears to be a rather mature-looking woman, somewhere maybe 40s, dressed in, actually for this region, surprisingly nice clothing. That may be of a scholar.
Dear. She might have been working with Blackwatch.
Working 6 hours from the town she's probably from.
Has
I mean,
anyone actually checked if she is actually dead?
Yes.
Right.
Or rather, we are judging by the numerous stab wounds, but she is probably dead.
Fair.
Well, I mean,
didn't hear that.
Case? Or Michaela?
yeah.
When you want to actually check her, make sure it's not like a disguise or like illusion of some kind.
What do you think is another ghoul?
If I must. All these undead recently. So distasteful.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we're close to Blackwatch. That entire country is kind of full of undead.
Doesn't make any less disgusting.
No, true, but it does explain why there's a lot of them.
Always filled with undead, you know. Going back to the 14th era, she begins to go on one of her rants as she's looking over the body, reading the entire encyclopedia on the country.
Not just nods and says,
Yeah. Huh.
To this person, anyway, 2 minutes later. Yes, she is most certainly dead.
Oh,
Did she die during your rant, or was she dead before?
Long before.
long
Oh,
before.
shame, then.
She appears to have been dead for a while. I don't think the
So,
skeletons killed her.
that's weird. Skeletons don't often desecrate corpses.
The thing is, I'm seeing this here, that she points to what looks like a very well, almost like surgically precision cut across the neck.
So she was assassinated and dumped here
Possibly, yes.
long ago, like
and
a
it's-
week, I guess.
She's very fresh though, so she's not. So this is only. So she was only killed recently.
I have to mention this, but the skeletons that Ryder are fighting were not exactly like the ones we found in that tomb. They did seem to be a little bit more motivated, I guess, if not talented.
True, but they're still in really tattered old gear, likely naturally spawned undead.
Spawn, but why would they have more proficiency in what they were doing then? And also, why would the body be here, and why would they be desecrating it, like you said?
Does she have any identifying marks on her, holy symbols, etc., etc.?
Not much holy symbols in particular. She does, however, have a strange tattoo on her. No, actually,
And I attempt to Russian soldier over that.
the tattoo.
Yeah, in case it's like a soldier or mercenary's tattoo.
Have a look. You can try that.
Roll low.
Not any mercenary monk you know of.
Where's Wolf when we need him with his knowledge tattoo?
Walker just appraised as a good tattoo. That's all he could do. Cave looks over it. It's not like any kind of you certainly wouldn't call this to be like the hipper fashion or like really common to get one or symbolizing anything you really recognize. But it does stick in the back of Kate's brain. Like she thinks she must have seen it somewhere before, but she can't recall where. Not that.
I feel like I've seen this before, though I can't really place it at the moment.
Hmm.
What are you trying to figure out?
This tattoo. It is a symbol of something. I don't know what it is. Michaela, can you do your thing? I don't know what to even call it.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've seen
Michaela
it before,
sighs,
right?
just slaps you upside the head.
Okay. So I get a
You get a
reroll with a plus something?
with her plus. What is her wisdom at these days? Wisdom with a +5.
5 to that, so 36.
Oh, of course you've seen that before. How couldn't have you? That is the that tattooed mark belongs to well the Mage Arcana's fine institution of necromancy.
Ah, God. Okay, well, Michaela, next time you swing, aim higher than the ear, because now my ear is ringing. But yes, that is the institution of necromancy in the arcane school.
Oh,
Not sure
So
why
she's
she
a,
put that
she's a
tattooed on
student from the
herself.
other school, then, or a teacher, perhaps. Lecturer?
I'm not sure why she's tattooed with that, because honestly, it's not really something you want to be prideful of. You're most likely to be lynched.
well, I mean, again, we're near Blackwatch. Necromancy spells kill undead as well as
Yeah,
raise them.
dude, I know.
Eva didn't do a very good job in this case, did she?
Either way, yes. I think she got wrapped up in the crowd.
Maybe? I don't know about that.
Well, either killed by her own undead or killed for the reason of thinking that people call her an undead raising necromancer. Because either she was murdered, as shown by the slit on her neck, or something else. Perhaps a rival colleague. I mean, she was brought out here, and the theory is that if someone's using skeletons and they were desecrating a corpse, it would be to prepare the body for another raising.
Hmm.
Because if you mutilate a corpse, it makes the soul very angry and easier to raise.
Yeah,
Regard, prepare for burial.
that's a good idea.
Before
Let's-
you all go walking about here, let me just look. She got here somehow, presumably, unless she fell from the heavens. Ryder's gonna have a little look around and see if he can't find tracks.
Go ahead.
As I find out where survival is on the sheet.
Near the bottom.
Once. Yeah.
God damn, J-Mac.
Can I play Ryder in the main campaign now?
Only you can, but you'll still be able to play.
I've had better luck with him than I have with a stiffer.
Ryder takes a look around the area, trying to see if he can just kind of spot any kind of tracks for her. And you think you have. Though it wasn't the most difficult task in the world, but you have managed to find something. I'm going to drag you into this area. Because, well, they seem to lead over to a pool of blood over here in the forest.
What is it, boy? Do you smell something?
Fuck off. Come over here, Vilver's blood.
Oh, hey, you actually
Is little Timmy stuck down the well again?
You also see multiple sets of footprints.
blood. That's about the amount of blood that comes out of a carotid artery when someone gets sliced across the throat. I suppose it happened here.
Yeah, Ryder, you can see multiple sets of footprints. The first set of footprints you'd probably imagine look like they're hers, especially by the footwear she was wearing. Though you'd almost judge with that high of a survival check that even at this point she was kind of limping. Like she'd already been chased, perhaps, and hurt, but not quite killed.
Or perhaps she just naturally had a limp.
And it looks like she was walking with someone. You can see another pair of footprints. These are a bit smaller, not like halfling small, but from not quite a large of an individual though.
Dwarf, maybe?
She had a friend at least.
They don't look that heavy, to be honest. But a smaller human or maybe a half elf.
find where those go? Because we only got one body.
But what you notice though, because you see basically like this woman's footprints, and then whoever the smaller individual was coming this way, and then you see another set of footprints doing this, and then you can't really tell entirely what's happened because it looks like scuffs have gone around, but some kind of scuffle occurred. The smaller footprints did that. The
And
new footprints that came out this way, though, you're not. You can't really tell what happened to them. It almost just looks like they kind of go over here a little bit, then just suddenly become less and less and disappear.
Well, if you can, follow the little footprints. I'd like to find out where they went.
Do we? How involved in this do we want to be?
Well, I have a feeling this is somehow involved, because that is a girl from the necromancy school, and there's undead everywhere, and, our job is for bandits and murder.
Do you think maybe they came here to make some kind of deal and it went wrong?
Well, judging by the fact that she was limping on the way here, I doubt it. I think this was an attack.
Oh, I didn't hear that she was limping on the way here.
We've already set up camp, though. I guess we could follow them a short way.
It's also very dark at the moment, so tracking will be quite difficult out any direction.
This is a bog. I don't really want to leave the footprints to waste that long, and besides, the person may still be alive, and with the undead around, I don't want to leave them out here. At least let me solve this part of the riddle, and then we can go home.
Do not worry. This body, I can make it sanctified. They will not be able to raise it, and he does deserve does deserve a burial. Though we may have to wait on actually digging the hole for her until the others have finished their investigation.
Worst case, if he's not too far away, he would have heard us fighting, and probably. Well, Ryder waves his sword, but still getting them on fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
you did kind of make a giant flume of flame.
Might just come this way anyway.
Oh, you say that, but didn't you say the body had been dead for like hours?
It was dead a while longer than when we found it.
Yeah, I mean, Michaela probably thinks about 2 hours.
So, assuming they died and stumbled over there immediately after these prints were made, that's still 2 hours headway this person has on us.
Assuming we've been moving the entire time, sure.
Yeah, well, they might have ducked underneath a stump or something. Give me 20 minutes and I can just go with Ryder and I'll come back. If you don't want to come, it's fine. I just want to finish this little bit of the puzzle before I forget about it while it's active in my head.
They'll spend the entire tomorrow getting to the town anyway.
Yeah.
Probably go over and fall asleep again.
I'm just saying, don't get your hopes up.
The hopes are not up. I just want to solve a little bit of this puzzle, and at least get a sort of a conclusion to it.
Worst case is if we
Anyway,
find him, it means
that
he's not going to
sounds-
stumble across us in the night.
That's true. So you coming, Leo, or are you gonna help dig?
Oh, I ain't digging.
All right, come on, boy, pick up the scent. Pat's Ryder on the back.
Okay. I know you sleep.
And you saw what I did with those skeletons.
No, you can't do it again today.
You're way too loud to sneak up on any of us.
You watch.
The reason we knew you laughed is because you made a massive clatter on the way out.
That was a courtesy clatter.
Of course it
Well.
was. You keep telling yourself that.
If you want to follow these new footprints, you're going to need another survival check.
Okay. But my luck's not ran out yet.
Continue kind of following the tracks then, at least for a while. They definitely seem to. They're definitely moving fast. Someone running. And certainly them trying to kind of take cover behind things. And you can also see faint marks in the mud that you didn't really notice down here. You can never see them more in the area up a bit more further north here. It looks like they might have also been being pursued by skeletons at the same time. It seems like for whatever reason, whatever it is targeting both of them. Unfortunately, in such a dark night, there's a limit to how much you can track. But what you do end up finding as you kind of press on, if nothing else, ends up being the footprints end up eventually leading to the edge of a river to the northeast. Oh wait, northwest, kind of curving round. And by all of what you can tell, it does look like whoever it was being chased basically just dove into the river in hopes that they'd get away. Admittedly, not without apparently taking some wounds along the way, as you see splatters of blood near to this location.
Well, they're probably dead.
Yeah, probably.
Can skeletons swim? Are bones buoyant?
Really?
They don't
Just
need to.
walk
They
across
can
the
walk.
bottom?
Walk across the bottom of the river. That's what you're doing.
And even then, I imagine it's faster to like float across the top of it as to walk along the bottom of a moving river.
Yeah, it
Skeleton
depends how
is
strong
really-
of the current.
If the skeleton's really old, then the bones do become hollow as the marrow rots out, and then, it's airtight, and those they float for a little bit.
I don't think they're very good at swimming though.
No.
Like the whole coordination stuff.
And also, skin makes it very nice for paddling, and, bones not so much.
One thing you do see, though, now, Ryder, you look around, there's crossbow bolts embedded in the tree kind of opposite the river. It definitely looks like whoever it was had some kind of weapon, were trying to defend themselves, but of course, as you know, a crossbow is not the best weapon against skeletons.
So probably not, and I don't know, an apprentice or something who's also, capable of pew pew.
You don't see any signs of spells being used.
Gaith casts Mage Hand, and will attempt to pull one of the bolts out of the tree.
You can probably get one of them out. A lot of them will be stuck, but at least one of them will probably come out.
Alright. Well, remind me to talk to anyone who's seems like a competent magic caster. When I get to the town, perhaps they'll have something like locate object. I don't have it written down in my book, but if I can find the copies or similar bolts to this, bolts are sold in sets, so I can find the rest of the set.
I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that. Actually, does the river head towards town? The town that we're heading to?
Well, that's a good question. Ryder,
Yeah.
why don't you give me...
Please don't say geography.
Why don't you give me your geography check?
Damn it, it's up in survival.
Hey, you do
Right,
have
right.
geography.
Yeah, but like no int.
Negative int.
Yeah.
Why aid? Yes.
Good damn it.
Damn.
It's not you.
I 10, so.
Mm-hmm. So, anything from you, Tinder?
I mean, I can attempt to aid untrained as well.
If you want to.
Can I take 10 on an aid?
Since you're untrained, I would say no.
Fair enough.
You're
Nope.
not really... You don't really know much about this.
I think we're walking that way, and then, well, I know the river's not going in the water.
Well, at least based on the direction of the river, you're not sure if it does run past town, but at least goes in the correct direction. So, if nothing else, wherever the person washed up is probably closer to town than here.
Okay, I take back what I said. It might be a problem in the future anyway.
Well, actually, thinking about it, do you think we could convince Michaela to see if her god knows anything about making boats?
What, you want a free ride?
I would rather it prefer it to, walking.
It's not that bad.
It's still 6 hours, and even if this doesn't go right up to the town, this will be faster.
Really, Kev, as Ryder is going to start heading back to camp. It's not going to get easier if you keep on putting off walking everywhere.
Yeah. Case will follow after.
Meanwhile, with the help of Nathan creating a shovel, Rain digging, I suppose, and Michaela praying over the body, it can be buried. A traveler's any tool is quite useful for this scenario, though. Having a shovel on demand.
Hey, wouldn't you know it? Fucking Kaith's and Luck Flotsam Vessel is on the cleric list.
Those are stuff.
The group can reconvene, though. Nothing too spectacular happens. The bodies can be removed, both undead and not. As by the time the others get back, they see Rain covering up the dirt mound.
Good news, bad news. Which one do you prefer first?
What's the bad news?
Bad news is the other person who was being chased by these skeletons and their would-be assassin dove into a river after being shot or stabbed by a skeleton, and so we probably think they're dead. Good news is that's a river that goes in the direction we're going, so we can take the river with a boat that I think Michaela can make. I don't know. And maybe find the body and get closer to town without walking.
Thankfully, Miss Vansa does know quite a bit about the engineering of boats. In fact, there's a great legend going back to the 17th century. And she goes on.
That's a good bedtime story.
You can also probably just, lash a few logs together and make a raft.
If you guys want to do that while I'm preparing spells in the morning,
I can just use my magic to conjure a boat.
That's probably best.
yeah, and that's what I was referring to.
Lazy sods.
Everyone's born with the endurance of. I don't even know what to relate you to.
An ox.
A dumb one.
Oof, okay. Thanks, Kay.
That was not great. I'm sorry. I'm
It's
tired.
time we all went to bed.
Yeah.
Yep, back to sleep with us.
We just let Kay
Uh-huh.
lead us tomorrow. Sure, she can get us to 10.
Me calling you a dog is a compliment relating you to the tracking skills of a bloodhound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Look, Rain might have absorbed all my brains in the womb, but I'm not an entire idiot.
Okay.
Well, at least the alarm spell didn't go off, so no
As
one messed with my
Theo
10.
steps inside. Ring, 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 ring.
Ah!
Dismiss.
All right. Who wants 1.5 watch?
I
mean,
guess I'll
I think
take it.
it's
I'm kind of
still
awake.
technically my watch.
All right. Good night. Again. Let's try not to make it 3.
Yeah, yeah.
As the group will slumber. Hopefully nothing else will happen.
Let's try not to make it the legendary 4 night awake.
Go to sleep.
The sun arises the next morning, Michaela being the last one on watch and awake before everyone. And you all wake up to the pitter-patter on top of your tents of rain. It's not a lot, but a light rain kind of pouring down.
Called it.
But as it stands, you're able to all go through your regular morning routines as you wake up. Those of you with spellbooks to prepare your spells, Michaela has already prepared for her prayers. She's already gone through her prayers. Nathan having to shove Leo off of him after having taken up the entire tent. So that's how it goes. If you're doing anything in morning preparation I need to know about, please let me know now.
I get to go back
what-
my 4 hit points.
What is the plan? Are we just heading into town or what? Do I need to choose bloodline?
We're going on a boat.
We will leave closer to town.
Right, so we're basically heading towards town, and if we see the guy along the way, we'll stop? Is that the
Yeah.
vague plan? Right,
Travel. Prepare for trouble.
make it double.
Let's not make it double.
You know we're at least on dead country now, so...
Yeah, I keep looking at Celestial Bloodline because it feels like that should be really good in Undead Country, but I'm just not seeing it.
Out of character, Celestial Bloodline is garbage, don't take it. I've never hated a bloodline more than when I stuck with Celestial and being like, oh, this doesn't work, oh, this doesn't work.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm honestly thinking either sticking with Arcane or switching to Aberrant.
Options for you. Pick one.
Question, Dark.
Yes?
Pyrotechnics, can I use that and cast it on Ryder's sword?
I would say yes.
Cool. All right.
You really don't want to do that.
Goodbye, my eyebrows.
Oh god.
I'm noticing it. I'm noticing your stamina's not full now, Torin. Did you increase your con?
Yes. I was going to mention that, but everyone else was talking about stuff. But yeah, I'm enhancing my con, and I had already rolled for false life before I knew we were having something happen tonight. So I'm just gonna keep the 13 if you don't mind. I can roll it again if you want.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you're not double physical enhancing.
I don't see the need for more decks right now, and I can do it later if I want to.
It's true. It only takes a full action.
But I can already see the immediate need con, so
That's fair. Just con boost time, right?
hey,
How would
I
you-
want to catch a cult.
How would you say it looks when Nathan enchants his, kind of pours that energy into his armor and enchants himself like that?
I imagine there's probably like a process inside of his tent of basically drawing on the armor with some enchanted inks, and basically another layer of runes, probably in a different color, flare up, kind of overlapping the other runes. And when they take effect, the effects might not be immediately apparent, but over time, I'm sure the group will definitely be able to tell he doesn't tire as easily, and all that. So
It's something looks like the group's probably experienced a few times before, watching Nathan amplify both his natural abilities through his equipment.
mhm.